Hi, it's Gene, retired in Mexico, and we ask one question on this channel, which is, do they write them and sing them like they used to? Now, a lot of people, young and old, they think the old music is better. I hear it all the time. But I personally am not so sure. And today we're going to hit up the runner-up on our poll. So the winner that we already hit up, I decided we'd do the runner-up, ISIS. That's the name of the band from Boston, Massachusetts, a metal band. This was suggested by Atlas Project, so thank you, Atlas Project, for your recommendation. And I don't know I've never heard anything by this band. This is first time. In this picture, this is the largest I can make it here. So let's go ahead and hit this up and waste no more time. It's a long song, 9 minutes. It's instrumental. Okay. There are some live versions of this song, but I thought I'd hit up the studio. So the drumming is very noticeable in the beginning. Oh, nice bass. This is called Altered Course, and it's from 2004. So you got guitars in both channels. Sounds like 3 guitars. Okay. A little bit heavier guitar now. This is like metal meets shoegaze, right? It's like a heavy version of those great shoegaze bands. My Bloody Valentine, that's who I was trying to think of, and Ride, and those kind of people. Sounding a little darker now. You just hear a little bit of cymbal work, hi-hat every once in a while. It's mostly the toms and the snare and so we'll stop this. I hate to stop it, but it helps with the blocking. And so yeah, I mean, those atmospheric guitars in the rhythm section, which they vary it up just enough to keep some interest, but they're basically just laying a foundation for all these layers of guitar. It's really cool. And like I say, it reminds me of some of those shoegaze bands like My Bloody Valentine and Ride, and those people that would do a sort of a similar style, but this is got a heavier sound to it, so I'm really enjoying it. Let's keep going on this. Yeah, Altered Course, Isis from Boston, and I guess they kind of broke up in 2010, so this is an earlier part of the century. So let's keep going. And in the drumming, I hear just a little bit of Slint. But I like this better than Slint. Nice control on those guitars. And there's that drum just changing it up ever so slightly. Yep. And you can really hear the room, you know, the studio, you can really hear the room and the ambience. I don't think it's an effect on the drums, I think it's just the room. It's a nice sound. The way those drums are dropping out. Just fading out those drums. And the bass. I have no idea how many guitars I'm hearing. Man, a lot of sustain on that guitar. It's a nice little coda there. So I like this quite a bit. So let me compare it. In order to rate it, I have to compare it to other bands that do similar kind of music. So if I had never heard anything like this before, I might say A+. So a couple videos I've done, I did one on Polyphia, which everybody was raving about and was blowing up. And I didn't particularly care for that band. I thought it was a lot of noodling. I like these guys better. I also did a video on Godspeed You Black Emperor, actually 2 videos of them, and I like that band a little bit better than this band. What I'm thinking of is compositional skills. So in terms of playing, these guys are top-notch, and I really enjoyed this piece. A lot of great ambience. Like I say, it started off with the drums were most noticeable, and then you get that almost shoegaze style of guitars. Not the classic shoegaze, but you know, the bands that I referred to. And I really liked it, and good control of the guitars, great sustain and feedback and distortion, and these guys know exactly what they're doing. You know, in terms of compositional skills, I get more imagery with Godspeed You Black Emperor. They give me all these movies and pictures in my head. And this band did a little bit less of that, so maybe that's just my response. So, you know, that's a hard thing to put your finger on. When you're doing instrumental music, how can you evoke imagery, and how can you evoke those types of things? So, yeah, really good. I'd like to hear more by this band. Because I'm putting them in, you know, I really like bands like My Bloody Valentine, and the fact that there were no real riffs here, but just tones, that was fine with me. I love ambient music. So I'm going to give these guys an A-, which means I liked it a lot. But I'm docking it only because I'm stacking them up against other instrumental bands that I've heard. So that's a good rating. I hope that doesn't disappoint you, Atlas Project. I think it's good stuff. The drums, isn't that funny? I mean, really, the guitars were the star, but the drums were what was most noticeable. It was just a very unique beat, and it really set the tone for the whole piece, and I liked it. It was a slower tempo than I thought I was going to hear when I read that it was post-metal, progressive metal, but I also read that they were sludge metal, which is slower tempo, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like I say, I heard just a touch of Slint in the drumming and the tempo. So good stuff, thank you. We'll go ahead and wrap up the video. It was a song that I enjoyed, thank you. So as we say here in Mexico, buen dia.